Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing well. And in today's video, we're going to have a look at sequences, which is actually lesson 9.1, generating sequences. Okay, so as you see over here in this section, they're just requesting from you to determine whether this sequence is linear or nonlinear. What is the difference between linear and nonlinear? Linear is actually when you add or when you subtract every time the same amount. So this is linear, but non-linear, it is when it changes. Like what? Like as you see over here in question A, it is the opposite. This is the opposite of linear. It's not adding or subtracting it by the same amount every time from one term to the other. So let's see here, for example, the first one, 11. What happened to the 11 to become 15? We added a 4, then added a 4 to become 19. Then we added a 4 to become 23 and added a 4 to become 27. So question A here is actually linear. Question B, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Every time I'm adding, the term-to-term rule here is add 10. So even question B is also linear. All right, question C, 20, I minused here 2, it became 18. Then I minused here 3, it became 15. Then I minused here 4, it became 11. So it's not that every time I'm adding or I'm minusing the same amount. It's different. Each time is different than the time before it. So this is definitely non-linear sequence. All right, let's go to the next section and so on, definitely with the rest of the questions here. Next is generating a sequence. You're creating the sequence. They're giving you here the first term and they're giving you also the term-to-term rule, and then they are requesting from you to generate the sequence or to write the first three terms. So let's do it here. The first one, which is question A, they're saying to you the first term is 3.5. So 3.5. What is the term-to-term rule? They're saying add 0.7. Okay, so I'm adding it to the 3.5. What? If you cannot do it mentally, you can just put 0.7, which is going to give you at the end 4.2, adding normally. So next one is 4.2. Then you add 0.7 again to it, which is going to be 4.9. Then you add, that's it. They wanted only the first three terms. So here you go. Question B. B is a little bit different. They're giving you the first term, yes, 2, but they're telling you that every time you add a half, they multiply by 2. So add a half to the 2 becomes 2.5. Or you can also say it's 2.5. Multiply by 2, it means the double of it, which is going to be 5. Double 2.5 is going to be 5. So here you go. Then add a half to the 5, which becomes 5.5. Then multiply by 2, which becomes 11. So the next one is 11. Here are the first three terms. Question C. Here. All right. In question C here, they say to you, let me just erase the steps of the other questions there. Question C here says to you, the first term is 4 and 1 over 3. 4 and 1 over 3. And they're requesting for me to subtract the 2/3 every time. So how can I subtract the 2/3 here? Well, let's take it step by step. If I have 4 and 1 over 3, and I want to subtract a third, only 1/3, what will it be? It will be 4, just a 4. Take away the third. Okay, then if I want to take a third again, what would it be? It's going to become, actually now it's getting down below 4. What is below 4? It's 3. But 3 and what? I took a third, so I would have 2/3 left. Take 1/3 more. So it is 3 and 1/3. Then take away another third, becomes 3. Then take away a third, becomes 2 and 2/3. and so on. So here they're requesting from you to take 2/3. This is the term-to-term rule. Subtract 2/3. So to take 2/3, it means take 1/3, it becomes a 4. Take another third, it becomes a 3, and 2/3. Here you go. Then take away other 2/3. If you take 1, it becomes this, but I need to take another third, so it becomes a 3. Good? All right. Definitely, I know that some of you can do this mentally in a very fast and easy way, but other students also, I find that they struggle a lot with subtracting or adding fractions mentally. So you can just do it step by step this way. All right. Here, question D. Actually, D is very simple. Let's choose another one. Question E says multiply by 2, then add 0.75. Question F, multiply by 3, then subtract half. All right, let's go to the subtraction over here, the fraction over here. All right, so question D, F says to you here, the first term is actually 1. What happens? You multiply the 1 by 3. You multiply each term by 3, then subtract half. So I'm going to do 1 multiplied by 3, which is 3. But then subtract the half. So what is 3 minus a half? 2.5. So here is the next term, 2.5. After that, I go back to the term rule, multiply by 3. So I need 2.5 multiplied by 3. Let's erase this and do the working out up there. 2.5, I need to multiply by 3. And then at the end, I add, sorry, it is subtract. I subtract half. Let's do this. 2.5 multiplied by 3. Okay, mister, can I convert this into improper fraction like how we learned in the fractions lesson, the unit 8? Yes, no problem. All right, so this is going to be 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is going to be 5 over 2. You multiply it by 3, then minus the half. 5 over 2 times 3, which is 3 over 1, is going to be actually 15 over 2. Minus 1 over 2 becomes 14 over 2, which is actually just a 7. So 7. Now I multiply 2.5 by 3 minus half. Definitely, I know that some of you also know how to do this mentally. You can do 3 times 2, which is a 6, and 3 times half, it's actually 1.5. So it's going to be 7.5. That's mentally. 7.5 minus half is just a 7. So some students can do this very quickly mentally. Some others know they need to do the steps, so they don't know how to do it mentally. So you have to follow the steps. 2.5 times 3, multiplying normal fractions, a mixed number by a whole number, is going to give you exactly 15 over 2. Minus from it 1 over 2 becomes 14 over 2, which is just a 7. All right. Let's go to the next section here. Same thing exactly here, but here is with squaring and then subtracting or adding. So let's do question, I guess it was 5. Yes, question 6 here. They're telling you here it was a 2, then it became 3 and 2/7. So what is happening here? Definitely I'm adding it, but what am I adding? I added to the whole number of 1. Okay, but it wasn't only 1, it was 1 and a fraction. So what happened? I added the 1 to the whole number and the 2/7. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to add to find this one, the third term. I'm supposed to add also 1 and 2/7. So here, what is 1 and 3 is going to become 4. 2/7 and 2/7 is going to become 4 over 7. Good. Then the next one, they told you that it is 5 and 6 over 7. I need to add to it what? 1 and 2 over 7. So I need 5 and 6 over 7 plus 1 and 2 over 7. What is it going to be? 5 and 1 is going to be 6. 6 over 7 plus 2 over 7 is 8 over 7. Oh, can I leave it this way? Definitely no. 8 over 7, we know it is 1 and 1 over 7. We converted it into a mixed number, but with the 6, it is actually 7 and 1 over 7. All right? So as if I took one whole from the 8 over 7, I took 7 out of 7 from it, and I added the one whole to the 6. It became 7, and I had 1 over 7 left over. So again, 8 over 7 became 6. 6 and 8 over 7 is actually 6 plus. Convert 8 over 7 into a mixed number. It becomes 1 and 1 over 7. So at the end, it's 7 and 1 over 7. That's the next term. All right, let's go to question C. Question C here says to you -4, then blank, then blank, then -3.1, -2. All right, what can I use to determine the term-to-term rule? I need two terms that are consecutive, that come right away after each other, not consecutive. They come right away after each other. Like what? Here, it's -3.1, and I got -2.8. What happened? Every time, what is happening? As you see here, the number got bigger. It is negative. Notice it's not positive, okay? So I added what? You're going to find out that I added exactly 0.3 to this to become 2.8. All right? I added exactly 0.3 to -3.1 to become -2.8. Okay? All right. If you want to know the difference, oh, well, definitely now we agreed that it is addition. Why? Because the number got bigger. It's not that the number got smaller. So we're not dealing with positive numbers. We're dealing with negative numbers. So the number got bigger. So definitely I'm adding. Adding what? Mentally, it's 0.3. I cannot do it mentally. No problem. I want to see the difference between 2.8 and 3.1. Normal subtraction. This becomes here 3. This becomes here 0. So it is the difference is 0.3, and we agreed that it's addition. So every time I'm adding a 0.3. Let's continue. Now I know the term-to-term rule. So -4, add to it 0.3 becomes what? Add to it 0.3, then it becomes -3.7. Add to it 0.3 becomes -3.4. Then -3.1 is given to us, -2.8 is given to us. Then I have there, add to it 0.3, so it becomes -2.5, and then -2.2. All right? I found the term rule, then I applied it. Okay. Here we go in question B. Let's have a look at question B. What happened in question B here? 90. What happened to 90 to become 84 and 3/4? Mentally, I should know that the 90 to become 84 and 3/4, I took away 5. If I minus from the 95, it will be 85. Okay, and what happened to the 85 to become 84 and 3/4? I took away from it 1/4. So I minused, actually here, the term-to-term rule is that I minused 5 and what? And 1/4. You minus the 5 from the 90, it became 85. But no, it's not only 85. I minus also 1/4, so it became 84 and 3/4. Good? All right. But after that, what are we going to do? We're going to apply the rule. I know now that the term-to-term rule is not minusing 5 and 1/4. Let's do this here. So 84 and 3/4. I need to minus from it 5 and 1/4. Minusing a 5 only, what is it going to be? After I minus a 5, it is going to become 79. Minus the quarter, it's going to become 2/4. Then 74 and 1/4 is given to us. 74 and 1/4. If I want to check that I'm right or not, I took away 5, it became 74. Take away 1/4, it becomes 1/4 over here. Then Take away a 5 becomes 69. Take away the quarter becomes just a 69, no fraction at all. I want to make sure that I'm right. Let's continue to see if this is going to be really 63 and 3 quarters or not. Take away 5, that's the rule. Take away a 5 becomes a 64. But is 64 going to be, just say 64? No, I need to take away quarter from it. So it becomes a 63 and 3 quarters. The last one, take a 5, becomes 58. But take 1 quarter from 3 quarters becomes 2 quarters. So 58 and 2 quarters. The last section here is actually the same question 8 here. First term is 3. Let's just answer maybe question D. Well, question D here says to you, the first term is 100. Then I'm going to write first term is 100. Then what is after that? Term to term rule is subtract 10, subtract 15, subtract 20, and so on. Oh, Mister, what does this mean? Oh, they did not say to you term to term rule is subtract 10 and then subtract 15. No, they did not say that because if they said and then or then, this means I'm going to subtract 10, then subtract 15 in the same term, from the same term. But here they're saying it to you, subtract 10 from the first term. So it becomes 90, comma, subtract 15, it becomes 75, comma, subtract 20, it becomes, sorry, 55. They want from you to write the first 4 terms. That's it. Here you go, the first 4 terms. So when you see them saying it to you, subtract 10, comma, subtract 15, comma, subtract 20, you just do this, the first thing for the first term, to move from the first term to the second, subtract the 10. Thank you. Then the second, you subtract from it 15 to become 75. Thank you. Then the third, you subtract from it 20. There is a 20 that is written over there, but it doesn't appear here on the screen. So subtract from it 20, then you get a 55. Thank you. All right. Let's have a look at here at the last question, which is the one before it. First term is 20. What is the term rule? Subtract 1, subtract 3, subtract 5. Oh, so what am I supposed to do? You do as it says. You subtract 1 from the first term, so it becomes 19. Subtract 3, it becomes 16. Subtract 5, it becomes 11. And here you go with the first 4 terms as they requested. Thank you so much, and see you in another video.